We only went and hit 100 subs. I just wanted to say a quick thank you to every single one of you that's subbed to this channel. I really enjoy making these videos, and so it's awesome to see that you guys are enjoying it too. Anyway, to celebrate 100 subs, I thought I'd do something a bit unique today. I'm going to blitz through 100 things that I've learned as an indie game developer, and generally in my life so far. This video would be an absolute goldmine of advice for my past self, so hopefully you'll find some of these things useful for your indie games or even your life as a whole. I'd be surprised if you didn't, because there's 100 of them. So, subscribe if you enjoy this, and we had better get going because there's 100 things to get through. Let's go!
Let's go!
Maths. I learnt about it in school and uni, and I use it literally every day. Coding/programming that I started learning when I was 16, and now I use it literally every day. Computer science degree, probably the most useful or at least pivotal thing that I've ever done. Just get started. Too many people plan way too far in advance and never get anything done or even follow their plan, so just go. Plan, but only if you need to. I normally find that about 1 to 2 hours into a complicated task, I then start to see the actual problems that I have to plan for. Expect things to go wrong sometimes. Failure is an inherent part of success. Start yesterday. If you can't do that, then start today. Get good sleep. 1/3 of your entire life should be spent asleep, more or less. Look after your mental health. It's hard to do and kind of complicated, but you're not really going to be able to do anything if your brain is literally not working in the way you want it to. Be consistent. Learn keyboard shortcuts and speed up your whole life. Source control. It will save your life one day. It's definitely saved my job several times in the past. Learn to type quickly. If you can type faster, you can get more done in a shorter space of time. Remove as many distractions as you can. Fail fast. If you do lots of projects quickly and drop them if they start to go wrong, you'll achieve a lot more in a shorter space of time than if you try and stick with something that's just not working. Go outside and experience some of the world. It will give you really good perspective on what you're doing when you come back to your desk. Money. Find a way to get some, because you're gonna need it. This will probably have to be through either a full-time job, a part-time job, your student loans, or living with your parents. The 80-20 rule. 80% of the work takes 20% of the time, and the last 20% takes 80% of the time. This is why lots of famous YouTubers slow their devlogs down towards the end of production, because they're hitting that last 20% that's really slow and difficult to get through. Exercise. We spend a lot of time at our desks, and after school, your PE/gym teacher won't be there to make you run around a field. Be consistent. Learn to relax. Most people don't have this problem and they have quite the opposite problem, but if you're like me and you struggle to switch off, relaxing is really important. Learn to switch on. If you struggle to start things and you procrastinate a lot, then I'd suggest maybe developing a small 5-minute routine that you can do before you start your work every time you do to get you in the right mindset. Play to your strengths. If you're an artist, make lots of arty things, and if you're a programmer, make lots of programs. Make games that you're passionate about, at least initially. It's really difficult to motivate yourself to do something if you've never even been interested in the project in the first place. Because time is your most valuable asset. Spend as much time as you can doing stuff you like doing. Play enough other games so that you know what you like to see in games, but don't play so many that you never get anything done. Don't just play good games, you have to play bad games as well so you can understand why they're bad and then learn from those mistakes. Do good research on previous games too. There's a lot of devlogs and blogs out about that detail the development of a lot of indie games, especially recently, which is super valuable to learn from. Really think about the users you have in mind for the game you want to make. Be consistent. Don't make a game that's X but with Y. An example would be to make Among Us, but it's Fall Guys as well. Trendsurfing is basically impossible. Your one-man band won't be able to keep up with the latest trends or compete with the games that will have started those trends. Do your own thing. If you like making puzzle games, then make puzzle games. If you like making a science-based dragon MMO, then make a science-based dragon MMO. Then, adapt your marketing to current trends, not your game. This could be done as something as simple as a joke, where you make a skin for one of your characters that matches the current trend, without compromising your game's integrity. You need to market your games. This is very vague and hard to action on, so I like to scam. I'll explain. S is for social, so regular interesting updates to Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube are all key to success. C is community. You need to get involved personally with the community and interact with people on things like Discord or Reddit or other forums. A is advertising. You need to think about how you can best show off the best elements of your game to people and how it can be effectively shared with its target audiences. M is for Madbook, or my brand. You need to try and keep a consistent representation of yourself online. Be consistent. Be confident. This doesn't come straight away, but the more you practice something, the better it'll get, I promise. Organise yourself. Try and keep your work area clutter-free. Prevention is better than a cure. I'm mainly talking about ergonomics here, but it does apply to other places in your life. Go to the opticians so you don't strain your eyes, and use things like dark themes and night mode on your devices. Get a good chair. If you're less than 25, you probably won't even think about this, but I've seen plenty of people like 30 plus who have got terrible back problems because they didn't look after it when they were younger. Use a wrist support of some sort. Using a mouse and keyboard gets really difficult if you don't have wrists that work. Look after your equipment. Maybe clean that mouse and keyboard that hasn't been washed since you bought it, and dust out those vents on your PC. Try to keep your virtual space organised as too. When you spend as much time on computers as we do, you have to keep them tidy in the same way you'd want to keep your space around it tidy. And we're at the halfway point, so it seems like a good point to take a break. Or at least that's the point. You need to take breaks frequently and often. B, consistent. Develop for people with different needs. Nearly 5% of the UK are colourblind. That's 1 in 20 people. Screenshake. It makes everything better. Basic shaders. They can make your game look 10 times better without even trying. LERP, or linear interpolation. It's used to make camera movements smooth and then also some UI elements go smoothly as well. It's really useful. Sound effects. Don't leave them until last. They can make or break a gameplay element. Get some good placeholder art. Players arrive for the visuals and then stay for the gameplay. Try doing a challenge like devtober. People draw something every day on Twitter for 30 days and you'll be amazed at how much they improve. Use a colour palette. Don't just pick random colours off a colour wheel. Pick 8 colours at the start and then just try and stick to them. Don't worry about having a style. Most artists that have a very unique style have developed it over years and years of practice. Be consistent. Pick an engine and then just get started. It literally doesn't matter which one you pick with to start. Don't fret about programming languages either. Once you learn one, you should be able to transfer your skills to any of the other ones. Prototype stuff. Make a single mechanic and see if it's fun, and then don't be afraid to cut it and just move on to something else if it's boring. Be adaptable. Things don't always turn out the way you expect, so be ready to change your ideas if it's not going quite right. Do game jams. They force you to make and finish something in a short amount of time, and it's one of the best ways of getting feedback if you're just starting out. Imitate and then innovate. You want to stand on the shoulders of giants. You don't want to build your own giant from scratch. Iterate and iterate. Agile development is used by all of the software industry and can be really effective if it's done right, which is by about none of the software industry. Be really comfortable with sharing your ideas and work, because most other people won't have the time or the attention to even vaguely copy your ideas, so don't worry about it. Nice. B, consistent. Reflect on your daily routine, if you even have one right now. Learn to cook. It's like a design project you do 3 times a day, so you may as well get good at it. Eat good food. You are what you eat. Drink lots of water. It's been on Earth for 3.8 billion years and the recipe hasn't changed once. Don't drink energy or soft drinks. You'll get loads of energy and feel electric for like an hour, and then you'll just crash and burn for the rest of the day. It's like water, but it gives you diabetes. Eat mostly whole food and try to avoid processed stuff. Try to keep your eating time each day as consistent as possible. Don't eat at your desk or computer. Eating a meal normally takes like 20 minutes max if you're in a rush, and your brain will thank you for the break. In the evening, set yourself something exciting to do at the start of the next day, so then you'll be excited to get up and out of bed. Be consistent. Be excellent to each other. Respect your elders, but don't always listen to them. They'll have like 20 to 80 years life experience on you, so have some good advice, but they also didn't grow up at the same time you grew up, so it might not all be relevant. No one over the age of 50 ever seems to understand the internet. Watch talks from successful developers. They've made it and have a lot of really good advice. Pay extra close attention to recently very successful developers, as they will have done things in a climate that's very similar to the climate you're trying to be successful in. Try and learn from the failures of others. It's like a shortcut in life if you don't have to make the failures that other people have made. Wear sun cream / sunscreen. protect your skin. Write down a list of things you find fun. Reflect on why you find those things fun. Then understand why it's fun for other people. Be consistent. Spend some time listening to music without doing anything else at all. You'll learn what you like and what you don't like about music a lot more and get a bigger appreciation for it. Realise that you're literally a side character in everyone else's story. So, getting other people to care about your work is really difficult. But this also means that you probably have to worry less about what other people are thinking because they're so busy thinking about themselves. Stick to your guns. But be willing to learn new things that might change the guns you stick to. Build up a good sense of discipline within yourself. Be honest with yourself. This goes both ways in recognizing when you need to improve something a lot, but also to congratulate yourself when you do something really well. Practice all of the above. Pick something you want to improve at and then practice it for 1 hour every day that week, and you will be better at it by the end of the week. Be consistent.
Wow, that's great.
And that's my 100 pieces of advice for all of you. It's a lot, but I think there's some pretty decent stuff in there. I also make my own indie dev project videos every Friday, as well as more reviewy, personal type videos every Tuesday. So subscribe if you like this or that. Once again, thank you for the 100 subs. I appreciate it so much. And until next time, goodbye.